Being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it'll always get you the right ones. Don't worry about what other people are thinking about you, because everyone is only thinking about themselves. Every second you spend comparing your life to someone else's is a second spent wasting yours. Don't get emotionally attached to anyone. People change. Even your best friends can turn into strangers one day. Learn to be content and happy by yourself. If you need a company to be happy, then it will make you weak. Share your progress, not your goals, and you'll always be motivated. Don't be afraid to be alone. Being by yourself is far superior than being with crappy people. The people who ask the most from you are the people who do the least for you. Take your responsibilities seriously, but not yourself. Fear is not there to stop you. It's there to show you that you're interested and you care. Don't make permanent decisions on temporary emotions. Don't make permanent decisions on temporary emotions. If you put her on a pedestal, she has no choice but to look down on you. People give you advice based on their perspective. Not everything in your brain needs to come out of your mouth. Don't do anything that you'll have to lie about later. Light travels faster than sound. That's why some people appear bright until you hear them speak. Don't look for happiness. It's always inside you. You owe nothing to your younger self, but you owe everything to your present self. Self-care is realizing that you are your greatest obstacle. Your parents were correct multiple times, even if not academically qualified. Stop insulting them when they advise you. Act like you have been there before. Overthinking ruins you. It ruins the situation, twists things around, makes you worry about futile questions, and makes everything much worse than it actually is. If you're going to get angry about something, think to yourself, will I remember this in 10 years? You only get one body. Take care of it. You'll have it all your life, and while it is incredibly resilient, it can only give you what you put in. If someone emphasizes that they are telling the truth, you can be sure they are lying. All you have power and influence over is what you decide to do with the time that you are given today. You will never ruin a role if you play yourself. Don't compare the behind the scenes of your life to someone else's highlight reel. The behind the scenes of your life to someone else's highlight reel. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. Missing is a part of getting over. First, you choose a partner on the basis of their looks and enjoy until you realize that your kids will not be raised by their looks, but by their values. You cannot have everything. You always exchange something for something. To know who your true friends are, look for the ones who say good things behind your back and bad things to your face. Letting go is very hard, but it's the best thing to do. With time, the more wins with fear you can accumulate, the more fearless you will become. Never make someone a priority who everybody, you are an enemy to yourself. You were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that proportion. The biggest thing you need to accept is change. You don't only live once, you live multiple lives within one. Life becomes easier and more beautiful when we can see the good in other people. You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot keep spring from coming. Let others' actions speak for them. People will show you far more than they will tell you. Everything that you do, you are creating dots. You can connect those dots in the later part of life and understand why you did what you did. Commitment is what gets you started. Consistency is what gets you somewhere. And persistence is what keeps you going. Is what gets you somewhere, and persistence is what keeps you going. You can fall in love more than once. You don't need to worry much when someone you love leaves you. Most of the time, it's for the good. If someone is trying to bring you down, it only means you are above them. Don't make promises if you have no intention to fulfill them. It might not mean anything to you, but it could mean a whole world to someone else. Going back to your ex is like having a shower and putting dirty underwear back on. Keep an open mind and act like an artist, but think, fail, and learn like a scientist. You don't find your purpose somewhere else. You create your purpose exactly where you are, and you bear meaning to it. Your entire life can change in an instant. So instead of passively taking what you have for granted, be grateful for it and do whatever good you can with it. You grow rich when you seek new experiences, not material things. Action breeds more clarity than thought. So you can't think your way into a new life. You have to act your way into one. The life you experience is simply a reflection of your mindset. Chasing happiness will lead you to misery until you realize that happiness is the way. All you have is the now and what you do with it. Be smart enough to ask for advice, but be wise enough to know who to seek it from. If you can drop anything from your world, drop the ego. The more grateful you are, the more beauty you will see all around you, the more generous life will seem, and the happier you will become. The more generous life will seem, and the happier you will become. You won't forget some bad things, you just stop caring. Until that happens, don't stress too much about it. Success is not about your resources. It's about how resourceful you are with what you have. Fear limits most people throughout their lives and permeates through all of their decisions. Do your best to control it, overcome it, and revel when you defeat it. And revel when you defeat it. You cannot swim for new horizons until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. It's never too late to do the things you've always wanted to do. Don't let naysayers discourage you, because they may be projecting their own insecurities. You can't change what happened, no matter if it was your fault or someone else messed it up. Don't be mad about it. Deal with the challenge. People will always project their fears and limiting beliefs onto you. What you must do is build a shield against this noise so you can protect yourself from it. Do not discuss your past with anyone, because only you know its true story and significance. Others may not understand or even use it against you. Your tomorrow may be way different from your today if you try. Keep crying about what is not working today, and I promise you that your tomorrow is not working. Sometimes the world is trying to tell you who you are, but if you don't stop to reflect and listen, you'll never be able to hear. Your life won't go as planned, and trust me, it's a good thing. Never be able to hear. Your life won't go as planned, and trust me, it's a good thing. I remember sitting alone, thinking I'd hit rock bottom. But during that tough time, I met people who shared lessons with me that helped me get through it. These lessons might be just what you need right now. People aren't for you or against you. They're for themselves. What is coming is better than what is gone. Coming is better than what is gone. Sometimes you just have to walk away, let people go, and let relationships end. Your true friends become apparent when you're at your lowest. The only way out is through. You are stronger than you think. You have gotten through every bad day in your life, and you are undefeated. Nobody is going to watch out for you like you. Once you face your fear, nothing is ever as hard as you think. Out of difficulties grow miracles. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Not everyone whom you meet to do the most. The only thing you can control is how you feel, do, and think. Stop trying to change other people because it almost never works. Because it almost never works. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Sometimes we can only find our true direction when we let the wind of change carry us. Never sacrifice your growth for anyone. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Trust yourself. You've survived a lot, and you'll survive whatever is coming. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. Change is not a threat. It's an invitation to live. We either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. Keep your expectations only to yourself. Life is not always fair. Only to yourself. Life is not always fair. People that lie and cheat can often come out on top. But no matter how bad a situation may seem, you just have to keep battling on. Hoping and wishing don't make things change. Making different decisions and working hard does. Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Don't expect it from cheap people. When patience pans out, you realize you've not waited for long. Gotta love yourself before you can love others. When something happens and it causes us pain, the pain is there to teach us a lesson. It is not so that we feel pain for the sake of pain. Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. Do not let the memories of your past limit the potential of your future. There are no limits to what you can achieve on your journey through life, except in your mind. We must meet the challenge rather than wish it were not before us. Letting go isn't a one-time thing. It's something you have to do every day, over and over again. Difficult roads always lead to beautiful destinations. There comes a time in your life when you have to choose to turn the page, write another book, or simply close it. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. Most people will deceive you if you give them at least half a chance. You don't drown by falling in the water. You drown by staying there. Life is inherently risky. There is only one big risk you should avoid at all costs, and that is the risk of doing nothing. Every next level of your life will demand a different you. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Don't let anyone ever make you feel like you don't deserve what you want. The chief danger in life is that you may take too many precautions. The most important thing in life is learning how to fall. Bad days build better days. Let the improvements of yourself keep you so busy that you have no time to criticize others. People tend to complicate their own lives as if living weren't already complicated enough. A tough lesson in life that one has to learn is that not everybody wishes you well. There is neither happiness nor unhappiness in this world. There is merely the comparison of one state to the other. Only a man who has felt ultimate despair is capable of feeling ultimate bliss. Capable of feeling ultimate bliss. Hard times are sometimes blessings in disguise. We do have to suffer, but in the end, it makes us strong, better, and wise. Rehearsing situations in your head is a waste of time. The situation will always be different than anything your imagination will come up with. People will walk in and out of your life, and those you least expect will become past remembrances of a temporary time you once thought was permanent. One of my biggest lessons in life is wisdom to avoid the errors that will do. Hard times don't create heroes. It is during the hard times when the hero within us is revealed. When the hero within us is revealed, happiness is not the absence of problems, it's the ability to deal with them. The great courageous act that we must all do is to have the courage to step out of our history and past so that we can live our dreams. Nothing in your life will change unless you change. You think you know someone, but mostly you just know what you want to know. But mostly, you just know what you want to know. It took a long time, but I have learned that you just can't take anything you want out of life without putting something back in exchange. Instead of worrying about what you cannot control, shift your energy to what you can create. Maturity is when you stop complaining and making excuses and start making changes. You can't understand everything immediately. Sometimes you need to wait. Some goodbyes set you free. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Become is the person you decide to be. If you have a strong purpose in life, you don't have to be pushed. Your passion will drive you there. Life changes for the better when we realize that we don't have to know everything, and we don't have to pretend that we do. Be the reason someone smiles. Be the reason someone feels loved and believes in the goodness in people. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you get what you need. The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you are not going to stay where you are. The hardest thing to learn in life is which bridge to cross and which bridge to burn. All you have to do is pay attention. Lessons always arrive when you are ready. Facing your emotions gives you more strength and happiness in the long run than shutting them down or ignoring them. If you believe very strongly in something, stand up and fight for it. Guard well your thoughts when alone and your words when accompanied. The trouble is, if you don't spend your life yourself, other people spend it for you. Be grateful for what you already have while you pursue your goals. If there's a single lesson that life teaches us, it's that wishing doesn't make it so. Sometimes you're not going to fit in no matter how hard you try, and it's better to just be alone. Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. When one door closes, another opens, but we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one which has opened for us. Always trust what your gut tells you, even when everybody else tries to convince you otherwise. Don't take people for granted. You never know when they could be gone. You never know how much they mean to you until they're gone. Never back down from a real challenge. They give the best lessons in life. You are the only person that can simultaneously be your best friend and your worst enemy. And you can choose which one is more prevalent. And you can choose which one is more prevalent. You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can always choose how you respond to it. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Sometimes you have to lose all you have to find out who you truly are. People only get better with experience if they are willing to learn and understand the lessons that are given to them through the bad times in their lives. Tough times teach us that our resilience is stronger than we ever imagined. You have to speak up for yourself. No one else will. You have to speak up for yourself. No one else will. You won't always be able to help someone change for the better if you keep trying. There will come a day when you decide you can't do it anymore, and they clearly don't want to change. Your life is the result of the choices you make. There is no plan, just the consequences of choices. Be cautious with good deeds. Kindness has limits, and some may exploit your generosity. You can either become the victim of your struggles or emerge from them as the hero of your life. The most precious thing in the world is time with those you love. Most precious thing in the world is time with those you love. We tend to forget that happiness doesn't come as a result of getting something we don't have, but rather of recognizing and appreciating what we do have. Your future is your past, which you understand. You have to help yourself. No one else can help you. You have to do it yourself. You will feel more in control of your life.